everyone, this is Bench85 and welcome to something completely new. I figured I'd call this series, you guys coming to work with me. Okay, maybe not. Actually, this is Farming Simulator 15. I've actually been looking for a long time for a decent farming simulator that I actually enjoy. Usually they're a little bit watered down, simplified, or they're just not very realistic. Trying to create a gameplay that, well, might be fun for others, but for someone in the actual agricultural background like I am, it just wasn't for me. And I came across this game, and I have to give props to DocM77, one of the Minecraft guys, for putting up a video of this, and he's actually been playing with Corrales in a really derpy series. Their derp farm is quite interesting. But yeah, I want to thank DocM77 for putting it up, showing me this, otherwise I would have never seen this. And I also want to thank Stockoglaws for his series on this. I've been watching it, and he kind of inspired me to actually do a series on this instead of just playing it for my own. And I think I want to do this, so I think it's going to be fun. So let's start one out. Yeah, almost 40 hours. This is my personal save here. This is actually a multiplayer save that I have as well, because multiplayer I'm hosting on my own computer here. We're going to start up a third save game here, and I think I'm just going to do it in normal. And I've been going back and forth on which map to do. This one is very wide open, sprawling. It's very much like the map was in 2013, and I don't know. I really like this Bjornholm. It creates some interesting challenges to try and farm it, and I think we're gonna go with that. So let's start it up. So basically, how this series is gonna work, there's gonna be a lot of on-camera stuff, especially in the beginning, but there's gonna be a lot of off-camera work too. I'll keep you guys updated. Anytime I ever buy any new equipment, I'm gonna be doing it on camera. Starting different things, buying fields, stuff like that. I mean, I'll get into that as we go, but all that's going to be done in game. No, I would not like a short guided tour because I'm going to do it. Yes, thank you. I gotta change my DPI. There we go. Now I can scroll better. So there are going to be question marks on Bjornholm because this is kind of their starter out thing. And all it's going to tell you is, welcome to your brand new farm in Bjornholm. If you continue down the slope, you get to the main area where you can find more introductory tips for the game. I'm not going to go into too much depth of the tutorial parts of it. I'll probably snag those, myself off camera, because I'm going to explain most of this stuff on camera. Isn't the scenery just beautiful, though? Look at this sunrise. Gosh, it's beautiful. That's what amazes me the most of this game, is just how it looks. And that it's actually, like first person, like this is. So this is our actual farm. I'm gonna run down here. We're a little chicken coop here. We've got a few vehicles around. To give you a comparison, all the vehicles that you're going to get in this version, or this game, is exactly the same, except for two things that I can think of. Number one, you get a plow, and I don't think you get a plow in the Westbridge Hills map. I don't recall that. The second thing is there's an extra tractor on Westbridge Hills that you don't get on here. But basically, this is the main yard. That question mark over there is going to tell you that that's where you get your fertilizer. This one over here will tell you this is where you fill up your seeder. I'll probably trip that later. Wood chips, potatoes, and sugar beets get stored here. And the silos here. This is where you load up your sugar beets and potatoes. I'm going to miss that. This is where you unload your grain to go into your silo system here for storage. And the other side, if I run around here, you got your pipe here for filling. Just bring your wagon over here. So let me bring up, it says up in the top corner, the controls. 9 brings up your map, and you'll see, first of all, you'll see my cursor flashing there. You can actually move around and stuff while you're in the map, which is really nice while you're learning the map. You're able to drive around and check it out, figure out what roads you're on, stuff like that. The symbols will help you out. One other difference between this and Westbridge Hills. Westbridge Hills, you get one field next to your farm, but it's a pretty good size one. I want to say probably about the size of maybe number 23 on there, which is right over there. I'm trying to point with my cursor on the map, kind of, since I don't have an actual cursor. Here we get 24, 29, and 38. You can tell because the numbers are green. All of the other ones are available for buying. And let's see, different points on the map. Anywhere where there's a trailer per se. The one right over here is our drop-off one. That's in white. The other ones, the yellow ones, are sell points. So you got one by the grain elevator, freight yard, the biomass heating plant, the biogas plant, the windmill, lumberyard, shipping office, and the transport company up above there. I just kind of went around the map. And then the green ones, the garden center area down there. Actually, I'm not sure what the other green ones are over there. I'll have to check those out and figure out what those exactly are. Oh, those might be, yeah, those are the points where you can mow grass for mission type stuff, I believe. But anyways, we're gonna actually get things started right away here. Obviously they give you one field here that is ready to be harvested, and actually that's a good point. Let me quick go into the options and make sure. I'm gonna drop this down. This I can change in game with 7 and 8. That's your key binding. Mission frequency, we're gonna keep it at 5 minutes. Plant growth on normal. We're gonna put plant withering on. If it grows too far, it will die. We're going to keep that on. Everything else should be okay. Oh, and one thing you want to do as you start this up, make sure you save the game the first time, because if it crashes or anything happens, that save game is not stored. You may start it out on save game 3, like I did, or any of the other save games, but it will not actually save it. Let's see, this field has been cultivated and is ready to be planted. This is another one we own, 24. And if I jump, I'm going to use tab here. It's going to get me into a vehicle. Gets me into the combine. This is the tractor with the cart behind it. This is the one I wanted to. This is 38. And if you'll notice on the field here, if I get out, you see the plants here. That's supposed to be it cut off. So this field was being shown as previously harvested. And so you have to cultivate it to get it so that you can plant it. And if you notice, if I drive away, oh, we're not attached. It's because the implements are not attached from the very beginning. Now normally, if you look up there, you can see what's going on. One important thing I'm going to show you guys, down in the bottom corner there where it shows miles per hour and stuff like that, there's a little symbol of a tractor right at the bottom. This shows you what attachment is selected. Now right now it shows it in back, which means the cultivator is selected. So if I press V, it'll lower it. If I press it again, it'll raise it. V is for raising and lowering, as it says up there in the top corner. If I press G, you'll see it switches to the front. Now if I press V, it moves the weight. And if I press it again, okay, it goes right to the back. So it's important so that you're using the right attachment. Especially becomes important, let's say, oh, you know, I'm done with this and I'm parked back at my farm. I want to drop the cultivator. Well, if I'm not watching and I just press V here, or sorry, Q to attach, oh, I lost my weight. Well, that's no good. I wasn't watching. So you always want to make sure that you're on the correct tool. So to cultivate with this little guy, it's just a matter of putting it down and trying to drive in a straight line, which is not easy. And this is something that I really like about it. This little cultivator like this definitely would pull this tractor around in real life, especially with the experience that I've noticed. Oh, I should probably be watching where I'm going here. So you really have to drive it. I mean, it takes some work. And if you press C, you can go inside the cab here. And, I mean, you can look around, you can do whatever you want here. And if you really wanted to, you could look back at what you're doing, but you probably shouldn't drive looking backwards. That is a horrible idea. Now, to make it easy for turning around here, you'll probably want to get to the end. You'll probably want to lift it up, just because it's easier to turn, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just using the mouse to move around here. WASD to drive. I'm going to try, oh wow, I could not drive straight. I'm going to try and line this up so that all of it gets touched. I'm going to drop it back down. And I'm going to hire a worker. You can see H hires a worker. Now the best way that I've found to make sure it gets hired and does correctly is to start actually performing the work like this, and then press H and let him take over. That pretty much guarantees that he knows as a worker what to do. So we're going to let him keep working, and I'm going to press tab. This is our other tractor by the planter here, and this is our another tractor we have over here by the shop. No, I think it actually shows it on the map, the shop. Yes. Shop is where you pick up your equipment that you buy. So right now, we don't need to buy something at the moment. So I'm going to kick over here. Alright, as always, you can see our head is not connected. So we're going to want to press Q, grab the head. Perfect. Now, if you want to press, you'll notice it says B to turn on harvester. Well, it says you need to unfold it. For this one, it just opens up the grain bin, but all of the harvesters require you to unfold them basically before you can do anything. And then I just press B, start it up, the head goes down, and then it's just a simple matter of driving along and harvesting. Now you'll notice right now it's spreading out the chaff. That's good. I mean, it's not leaving anything behind. But one thing you can do is you can press the comma, you'll notice, and it will enable the straw swath. So now if we drive ahead a little bit, you'll see it starts dropping chaff, like such. That can be used for if you're baling up straw, but that's not something that we need to do at the moment. And I'm not too worried about that because the cultivator will just dig that in, so it's not a problem. So basically I'm going to go to the end, I'm going to press B, spin it around, press B again, start it back up, and we'll just continue our pass down this way. Now, I think we're going to, in this series, I'm just kind of explaining stuff at the moment, but as we actually get into this series, get a couple episodes in, and some of the work becomes a little bit repetitive, I think I'm going to start sharing stories about what actually happens on the farm where I work. Maybe comparing how things are realistic. Like this combine here, this is not far off from what we're using. I noticed that right away when I started the game. You'll also notice that I'm going to have a tendency of wanting to buy up things that are red. Red tractors, red combines. That's what we use on the farm, Case IH. And Case IH is in this game. I got quite a few stuff in here. So I'll probably be looking at that, but I mean, we've got a Case IH 2366 combine. Probably doesn't make any difference as to what that is to you guys, unless you actually know what it's about. But it's maybe one size bigger, maybe a little bit more horsepower than this combine has, just a little bit. And we have a 17.5 foot grain head. This is a grain head. You can tell because it's got the big reel on the front and a sickle on the front for cutting stuff off. This is a 14 footer, so it's not much smaller than what we use. Now, you'll notice down below on the right there, you know, it's showing the speed. It's showing me over there the symbol for wheat, because that's what we're taking off, and it shows you what's actually in the bin. And unlike most games that I've come across, it actually shows you how much is in the bin. You actually have a set amount that your bin can hold, which normally is not something that simulators I found will allow you to do. which is something I really like about this game. I know I'm driving this around, I'm having fun with this, just because I'm talking and stuff. We'll take care of that. After this pass, I'll show you guys something. Because we're about, we're going to be a little over 40% full. I think it's a good time to stop what we're doing here and empty out our bin, which is extremely easy to do. So I'm going to come down our road here, and you'll see our trailer sitting over there. So you'll see one of our options is to press O, and that puts our pipe out. Now all you have to do, once the pipe is all the way out, like such, you'll get used to where it is. You just have to go over the top of a trailer. Once you're over the top of the trailer, it'll start unloading automatically. And it doesn't really matter where you are, although I notice it does fill depending on where you are. Like right now it's filling in the back, and before it's filling in the front. So now we're done. I'm going to put it back in and take off and start going again. But this time, once I start in, there's more of the field here than I thought, which is good. I'm going to start it back up. Once I actually get into it and kind of straighten it out here, I'm going to press H and let the worker take off. Now, I'm not touching anything on the mouse, the keyboard, anything else. He's going to drive. And you can just watch him drive. I mean, that's perfectly fine. All of the information is being shown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. One of the things I need to do is attach this guy. Actually, with this being a small tractor, let me just quick unattach this. I want to drive over here because I know there's one set of weights over here, and I think I can put it on this tractor. And that will help it. Yep, it's the small weights. So you want to actually line stuff up pretty well, because otherwise it won't attach unless it's lined up pretty good. So the weights actually do function in this game, and that it gives you a little more front grip, which is important when you're pulling heavier loads, or like in the case of the planter that's sitting over there, the seed drill. You really do need it to be able to do anything like that. Or I think the cultivator is the same way. How's he doing anyways? He's working his way across. Now the reason why I have not started with this guy yet, I'll actually show you guys. We need to fill this up. You notice we come over here, we press R, it'll allow us to fill it up. And it costs money to fill our seeder up, but we need seed in it in order to seed. I haven't started this up because I'd like for the harvest to come off like over there. And I want to get all the fields in sync. So I want them all plowed up, and then we'll start seeding as we go. It's easier if you can keep everything in sync, basically. You can tell it doesn't steer very well because there's a lot of weight on the back of the tractor. So it does slide around and drift a little bit. I'm just going to leave him here so that we're ready to work up this field. So let me get. I was hoping, let's see, he's got to get a little further along here so I can show you guys. One of the things you're going to want to know about, if you press I, in previous versions you had like a PDA. This is kind of your version of the PDA. This gives you an overview of your finances for the day. It'll also show you any sort of news or something significant going on. This shows you what you have in storage. And you'll see you start out with a certain amount in storage to begin with. It gives you prices here, and these are the different places that you can take stuff. And you'll notice like grain elevator is paying more for wheat than like the freight yard is, or shipping office is a little bit lower, transport companies a little lower, but windmill is actually paying the best price, I think. Yeah, by a little bit. So you can kind of choose where you take stuff based on the price, and you really should do that to utilize your, leverage your dollar to the best of your ability. Now in the beginning here, you're probably going to want to sell a bunch of your stuff off, and I was looking to do that, after we get this harvested up. And the worker will do a pretty good job here taking care of things. It drives pretty well. Although some of the bigger equipment starts to question that, especially if there's trees in the way. I'm waiting for him to get done, but this is a pretty good sized field, and well, when you're running with small equipment, it takes a while. You notice the tractor and stuff actually gets dirty. Well, it's doing work. Waiting for him still. Let's see how he's doing. 42%. I'm kind of waiting for him to get a little further along. But I'm starting to wonder if I did not leave enough of the field to show you guys that. Yes, you can ride along inside the cab here of the combine. And it's actually pretty detailed when you look at it. The grain tank's not really filling, but yeah, I mean it looks pretty good. I've noticed too, spin around here, you can actually see the stuff going through the head, which is pretty impressive actually. They did a really good job of animating it. See, they're actually sending the chaff through both the chopper and straight drop off, just like it should in real life. So yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed with this game. I don't know if we're going to make this here. So I'll just tell you what'll happen. When he reaches 80%, this is with any of the combines, this is to let you know that he is nearing full in his bin. He'll turn the beacons on, see a beacon up in front, beacon in back, and he'll put his pipe out saying that, hey, you know, I'm almost full, somebody should go take care of me. And that's usually your cue that you have to come rescue him, because if he fills up, he's going to stop. And normally that wouldn't be a big problem, except for when he stops, you keep paying him. So you're paying him to just sit there. So you'll notice if I bring up I here, we've had $409 of wage payment already. And all vehicles actually cost something daily to run, so you got that stuff to take care of. This is probably seed income, or seed expense, I would say. Oh, he might actually make it to 80%. It's going to be very close. We started over there at 60, I think. I don't know what it was. 73%. It's going to be very close. We'll get in here. We'll just kind of watch. We'll see if he gets there. Now, one of the things you also see down in the corner is your speed control. Right now I'm dropping it down. I'm running in miles per hour. So to match a harvester, you just have to have it on 6. So you use the numbers 1 and 2 on your keyboard to change it. 1 goes down, 2 goes up. Is it going to happen? Yep, right there. See it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull under the head, or the pipe here. He's going to start unloading, and you can actually match his speed then. Obviously he just finished up, but you can unload on the go that way then. So he did reach 80%. Awesome. And I've done some calculations, and it seems to be that if you do like spill it out of the edge of the combine there or something, I think it does actually affect how much you have in your bin. Like you might lose some, I think. I'm not entirely positive, but it kind of seems that way. Now he's done there, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start him off with planting. Now planting works the exact same way, except for the fact that you first have to turn on the planter with B, and then you can put it down. It's important to choose what crop you want before you actually do it. I'm putting this one in with wheat, so I wasn't too concerned. But you'll see the ground behind changes color. And this will also drift off to the side too. So I'm actually going to hire a worker here, let him go. And you'll notice the seed was going down. I lost 5 points of the seed, but as soon as the worker took over, it doesn't. Fuel does not go down either. Instead, they just decide to charge it straight out of your account. So it's something to keep in mind. What I didn't show you, under I here, I didn't continue over. This shows you all of your vehicles. It also, if you get something in trouble, see, you can go straight to it. Wasn't trying to, but if I bring that up, you can actually reset it. And what it'll do is it'll send it back to your home farm right in the yard. So if you have trouble, get something stuck, you can always send it back. This here shows you your growth. You'll notice right here you made one pass down, so it's light blue, which is the first stage of growth here. And the green and stuff, you can see, actually you can't see because I'm done. There isn't any green anywhere, but this field would have been green, saying that it was ready for harvest. You can also change it to fruit types. You can see this had wheat on it. This has got wheat pudding into it. This had, looks like barley on it originally, but he's plowing it off. And over here just kind of gives you an overview. This is more important when you have animals. This especially because we're going to get into cows when you get the chance. And then you have your session here. Apparently I've been playing for 21 minutes. Gives you all this information, which is kind of interesting over time to look at how much you've used. Another thing to remember is that insert shows you your finances here. You can also get this at the ATM machines that are on around the map. You also start out, at least normally you start out with a $100,000 loan, so you got the loan to worry about. But you can see this is shifting, 535 and 540, 539 I guess. So these do move around, and because the game is actually running in the background. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Anyways, I'm going to put this one, move him over. We don't need him anymore. And actually, we're going to take him back home here to the farm. Probably fold him up. But yeah, this is Farming Simulator. This is how we started it out. Everything is extremely simple in the beginning. And let's see. I'll demonstrate both things here. You can fill straight, like right now it's not full yet. I'm at 62% fill. You could fill right under it and it'll put in whatever crop, or do it however you want here. I'm probably going to snag the question mark. Maybe not. I usually like to pull across like this because I like seeing it tip backwards. If you were just like over here like this, it would probably tip sideways, but I like that it was tips backwards. Yeah, silos. So now if you look under I, you'll see that we're up to 14,000 in wheat now. And that was loud. I'm actually fixing a laptop for someone on the side here, so I just decided to start up at a very inopportune timing while I'm recording, unfortunately. But if you press R here, because if you notice it says up there start filling R, if you have an empty trailer it gives you a choice. So you can go through and you can grab any of these. We're gonna grab the canola out just because of the price of it. Black stuff. I think over in Europe it's also known as rapeseed, I want to say. But we're going to take this to the freight yard. I already know we're taking it to the freight yard because I want to send off the train. It might be considered a little bit of an exploit, but if I go under I here, look under prices for canola. 1,094 at the grain elevator, 1,061. Transport company's a little higher. And if you look, the freight yard is less. But if you do send off the train, you get quite a bit more. So remember I was talking about the cruise control? If I right now hit 3, he's going to go at 6 miles per hour, which would have matched the harvester when he was doing it. But if you hold down 3, it'll jump to max speed. So now the cruise control will just take the tractor at full speed. Now, I am going to try and make this as realistic as possible. So that means I'm not going to use the lumber exploits if you're familiar with the game. I'm not going to be pushing trees straight into the pond. If I do the wood cutting portion, because there is forestry in this game, there's some really neat forestry equipment. But we're going to take a look at the equipment in the next episode. Right now I'm just kind of going through this stuff. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm not going to be doing any sort of exploit stuff like that. I think sending the train out at the freight yard isn't so much an exploit because you're getting less for your product. Really gotta watch because cars are ridiculous in this game. Like if I were to hit that car straight on, the car would just keep going and I would get punted. I mean, they are ridiculous. But as far as realistic, I'm not going to be cutting across fields. I'm going to try to utilize the roads as much as possible. Make it seem more realistic as far as that goes. I mean, I can turn on my flashers when I'm on the roads and stuff. If I had a bigger tractor or the combine, I could be using beacons. I really do like the flashing beacons. But we're going to come down here to the freight yard. And I already knew where this was because I played, like you said, I played 40 hours on my own personal save on this map, and that's actually where the big combine that was in the intro comes from. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of showing you guys how the game works, and as we get into the game, we'll do some more interesting things. So to sell it, it's the same thing. You just got a loading thing here. We're going to unload. You'll see our money goes up as it unloads because it gets sold immediately. Cool. And I'm going to get out, and you'll see the little exclamation point here. Tells me send off the train. So I press R, pull the lever. Bye-bye train. Now there's a reason for that. As the train pulls away. And here, I want to show you guys just the little attention to detail here. This is a weigh station, which would normally be used at a place. You see the numbers over there? Okay, I don't know why it wants to zoom in like that. But anyways, the weight changes. I don't know if you can see the numbers on there. Oh yeah, watch our money. 11.5. You'll hear cha-ching. Oh wow, 20,000. Okay, so sending off the train gets you a lot more money out of it. That's good. Actually, I'm gonna stop at the moment. I'm gonna press P. This takes us to our shop categories here, and all I'm interested in is fertilizer spreaders because it's the first thing we're gonna purchase here as I wrap up the episode. Fertilizers, spreaders give you more money. Yeah, I'm just gonna use. I thought about using. Well, what's the sprayer coming at? 29. Yeah, we're gonna get this guy. Okay, so it says you can fetch your purchase at the store. So we got the basic spreader. Now I'm gonna leave this guy here for the moment. I'm gonna tab over. He's doing good. He's doing good. This guy at the shop. See here? Our fertilizer spreader is sitting here. Nice. Now you get double the income, double the crop production if you fertilize your field. So you can either do it this way with the dry fertilizer, or you can do it with spraying the sprayer there, or liquid fertilizer. One or the other, doesn't matter. Yeah, I just realized I cut through the lawn, but you know what? It happens. And can I get to the driveway before the car does? No. We should probably, show them which way we're turning here. I just love the fact that they put blinkers and stuff in. That's crazy. So yeah, guys, this is Farming Simulator, and I think it's going to be a fun series. I'm going to have fun talking about, the parts of this game that are realistic and the parts that aren't. There are some things I found that aren't realistic, but we'll get to that when we get there. and just kind of comparing to things that we actually do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, take it easy. It's got a horn.